Baseball returns to Don Leitchfield as the Grayson County Cougars welcome in an out-of-region opponent in the LaRue County Hawks. On Tuesday evening, it was a massive win over Butler County for Grayson County, bouncing back from a heartbreaker on Monday evening. Can they take down one of the top teams in the 5th region? We will soon find out. And a good evening here, and welcome to Don Leitchfield for tonight's Cougar baseball coverage between the Grayson County Cougars and the LaRue County Hawks. Sam Gormley with you tonight. We appreciate you taking the time to tune in. Coming up on our pregame show, we're going to introduce you to both the Hawks of LaRue County and the Cougars of Grayson County. That comes up and more right here on K105 Digital Productions. Welcome back to Don Leitchfield. Grayson County and Butler County getting closer to getting underway in tonight's contest. As we bring in our commentator for tonight's game, Grayson County Cougar baseball manager Chase Blaine. And Chase, first off, I can give you any comebacks that you want to take at Briley Napier, who's been filling in, doing it as well. I know he took a couple shots on Tuesday. Do you have anything to come back and say now that you've finally been given the mic back?
I heard about that. I don't think Briley's ever batted 1,000 in his career. I think he's complained a time or two whenever he was in the dugout too. So we'll just put it to bed. It's sour grapes now.
I like to hear that. Grayson County and LaRue County coming up here to play. Grayson County enters with a record of 10-14. LaRue County comes in with a record of 15-9. And offensively, this LaRue County team is very, very good. As a team, their OPS, we'll talk a little bit more about this, is .832. They're hitting over 300 as a team. Chase, who are some of the leading guys, and these are just a few that really stand out offensively.
So anytime you have a hitter this late in the season batting .400, that's always something you want to look at. Their number 3 hitter, Brooks Brackett, he's a senior, batting .400 on the season with 22 RBIs, 6 doubles, 2 home runs, and he's 15 for 18 in stolen bases. Another guy you want to look out for is outfielder Jackson Thomas. He's batting second. He has 3 doubles, 8 RBIs, only 30 at-bats, but he's still hitting over 500, which is impressive no matter how many at-bats you have. And then also want to give a shout-out to Derek Keefe. He's a senior, and he signed on to play at Kentucky Christian with 9 RBIs, 2 doubles, and a .261 batting average this season.
LaRue County, they hit the ball. That's the one thing that's going to stand out a lot. Now, where they do maybe have a little bit of struggles is pitching. This season, team ERA, 4.44 coming into today, but their best pitcher, Brooks Brackett, his ERA is 1.31, which is dominant. And if you subtract his ERA from the team ERA, their ERA is about 5.34. So Grayson County can score against this team. Their starting pitcher for tonight's game, Jamison LaRue, enters today's game. This will be his 6th start on the year. 5.58 ERA, 19 walks, 21 strikeouts. Chase, when you see that line there, he's averaging roughly 1 strikeout per inning and almost 1 walk per inning. What does that kind of tell you as a hitter for the Cougars tonight?
I mean, he's either gonna be on or he's gonna be off, and you have to go up there with the assumption that he's going to be on. You have to, of course, look fastball, adjust the curveball, and then get on. Base runners are going to be important tonight.
It's big for Grayson County. Their offense was what stood out on Tuesday evening, coming up with a 10-1 victory over the Bears of Butler County. We'll introduce you to the Cougars coming up right here on K105 Digital Productions. Welcome back to Don Lee Field, Grayson County and LaRue County. Just about a little over 10 minutes away from getting underway here tonight. Sam Gormley and Chase Blaine with you. And Chase, this Grayson County team got off to the rough start, 0-7. Since that point, has been playing better. So 10-7 over those last 17 games after the rough start. Really, over these past couple of weeks, has been playing their best baseball of the year. They had the 5-1 record in district play. But for me, Chase, what I want to start on and discuss is Monday night, a rough game. I think is the only way that you can use to describe it. You're up 1-0 going into the bottom of the sixth inning, and Butler County scores the 7 runs. That can completely deflate a team, but then to turn around less than 24 hours later, and beat a team handily 10-1. What was the difference in that performance, and how different has the team been feeling since doing a beatdown of the defending district champs?
Well, I think one was the mindset. A lot of these players I don't want to say we're a young team, but not playing last year really hurt. Losing 6 seniors really hurt. They had not experienced what a true rivalry game was until they did that, and they realized how much harder you have to play in those games, and I think that was the main difference between Monday and Tuesday.
Grayson County offense was what stood out, something that, if we're being honest, Chase, we haven't said much this season. Offense has been a struggle. I know that you obviously know these players better than anybody, being one of the team managers, and I think that most of them would probably admit that, right? That offense has been a struggle, but one player has stood out the most offensively, and who is that?
Dane Hawkins. It has to be him. He's the only player batting over 300, and he's batting 387. If he gets hot here, a 400 season's not completely out of the question. Of course, if you're going down through here, Chandler McCrady's batting 283. He has our second average, but he also has 20 less plate appearances than Dane. So that just truly shows how good of a hitter Dane has had.
It's just been the offense, and on Tuesday evening, you spread it out with a lot of players getting at bats. I know Dane had a couple of hits. Eli Watson had a couple of hits as well. But the player that stood out to me the most, Chase, and I'm going to throw you a wild card here, was, as Briley and I were talking, there was a player on the team that is coming for Briley's, at least what he claims is a state record for hit by pitches. Jaron Van Meter, wearing not one, not two, but 3 of them in a game. What does that say about a player, though, that he's willing to stand in there and take one?
Jaron in the JV game also, I think he got hit once and walked once, so I don't think he had an official at bat the other night. But Jaron, he's developed into a great outfielder. He has the potential to be a really good player in a couple years. Just a freshman, has room to develop, and I know the coaching staff is really high on him as well.
He has a great future for this Grayson County team. It looks like head coach Danny Clark and head coach Kellen Lobb for LaRue County are meeting at home plate with our umpires for tonight's game, so it looks like we're getting closer to getting underway. We'll have the starting lineups coming up next here on K105. Let's make the starting lineups here for both teams. First, for the 5-9 LaRue County Hawks, head coach Kellen Lobb. He is in his second season. As the leading off and playing first base is going to be Evan Morris. Batting second and playing center field is Jackson Thomas. The three-hole hitter will be the shortstop Brooks Brackett. Caleb Graham will play left field and bat fourth. Connor Baker will be the right fielder and bat fifth. Batting sixth, the designated hitter is Derek Heath. Batting seventh and playing second base is Brian Sanchez. Jason Sanchez will bat eighth and be behind the plate. And batting ninth and playing third base will be Tate Wooten. The designated player and starting pitcher for tonight's game for the Hawks is going to be Jamison LaRue. Once more, that's Morris at first, Thomas in center, Brackett at short, Graham in left, Baker in right. Heath will be the designated hitter, Sanchez in second. That's Brian Sanchez at second, Jason Sanchez behind the plate. Wooten will be the third baseman, and Jamison LaRue will be the designated player and be the starting pitcher. Now the starting lineup for the Grayson County Cougars. Head coach Danny Clark in his 18th season with a record of 10-14 is Grayson County. Leading off and playing third base is Dane Hawkins. Batting second and catching is Chandler McCready. The three-hole hitter will be the designated hitter Camden Brothers. Batting fourth and playing right field is Mason Miller. Batting fifth and playing second base is Eli Watson. Batting sixth in center field is Caden Woodcock. Cody Shepard will be the first baseman and bat seventh. Ethan Snyder is the starting shortstop for tonight's game. He will be the eight-hole hitter. Batting ninth and playing in left field will be Jaron Van Meter. Designated player and starting pitcher for tonight's game is going to be Owen Bratcher. Once more, that starting lineup: Hawkins at third, McCready behind the plate, Brothers the designated hitter, Miller in right, Watson at second, Woodcock in center, Shepard at first, Snyder at short, Van Meter in left, and again, Owen Bratcher is a designated player and the starting pitcher. Play-by-play's next, coming up here on K105. Welcome back to Don Lee Field. Sam Gormley with you today. Welcome in to coverage of Grayson County and LaRue County. It's Sam Gormley and Chase Blaine on the call. So we appreciate you taking the time to tune in on tonight's broadcast. For Grayson County getting the start tonight, Owen Bratcher. His 11th game, second start of the season. He's 0-1 with a 5.16 ERA, 31 strikeouts, 11 walks. His whip stands at about 1.53. Chase Blaine is our guest commentator. Chase, the scouting report on one Owen Bratcher.
On Bratcher, 3-pitch repertoire, fastball, changeup, and the newly developed curveball. Of course, anytime you develop a new pitch, it takes a minute to get control of it, but Owen's done that. I know he's thrown a couple bullpens and short boxes to do that, and I've seen a good improvement in it over the past week and a half in it.
The other thing that stands out to Owen Bratcher the most, and we were talking about this a little bit beforehand, is his height. He's about 6'3", 6'4", depending on how you want to look at it. Maybe even 6'5" if he's
playing
on
basketball.
Some days. Yeah, he plays basketball. But the height when you're facing a pitcher like that, and I know, Chase, you'll always appreciate when I give my random Reds references. When I think of tall pitchers, you think of guys like Sean Marshall and Logan Ondrusek. From about a decade ago, Reds pitchers it's a lot harder to pick up a guy when they're taller, because that ball gets there ever so quicker because the release point is closer to the ball.
Yeah, I know Coach Danny Clark, likes pitchers having different release points. That way you're not seeing the same pitcher every time, especially in district. So Owen's taller. Mason Miller, he's come at you more of a three-quarters action. You think back to Noah Bullock with the submarine and Caden Woodcock with a sidearm. So we have different pitchers with even Landon Chiarella with the overhand throw. Different pitchers with different release points to mix it up.
And leading off for LaRue County once more, we'll give you that lineup. Morris at first, Thomas in center, Brackett at short, Graham in left, Baker in right. Heath is the designated hitter. Sanchez at second. Another Sanchez will be catching, and Wooten will be the third baseman. The defensive alignment for Grayson County, you've got Jaron Van Meter in left, Caden Woodcock in center, Mason Miller in right. Around the horn, Hawkins at third, Snyder at short, Watson at second, Shepard at first. Behind the plate, Chandler McCready. And the starting pitcher again is Owen Bratcher. The lefty, Evan Morris, will lead off for the Hawks, hitting .288 on the season. 8 runs batted in, 3 doubles, pair of triples, also has a home run. And the first pitch from the 6'4" Owen Bratcher is a cold strike on the inside corner. And today's game is underway. 5:04 Central Time is the official start time, 65 degrees. And just a few clouds in the sky. It's really a very nice day here for some baseball. The 0-1 pitch from Bratcher is a sweeping breaking ball that's fouled off, and he's quickly ahead in the count here at 0 balls and 2 strikes. As Bratcher again is working on that curveball, Chase, and you kind of saw it a little bit right there, and the key is that one kind of hung a little bit. I'm going to try and get that one lower in the zone. Here comes the 0 balls and 2 strikes pitch to Evan Morris from Bratcher. And it's fouled off behind the plate, and we'll do it one more time. For LaRue County, offensively, they score runs, and they score runs at a high level. 201 runs scored across their 24 games. That's an average of just shy of 9 per game. And if you look at it even deeper, as here comes the 0-2 pitch, it's popped straight up in the infield. Bratcher, the pitcher, is called off by Cody Shepard, who runs in and drops the ball. He runs in and drops the ball in front of the mound, and that is a leadoff runner on base on the error by Cody Shepard. He had to go a long way battling the sun in there as well, but that's a play that the first baseman's going to have to make in a game against a team that in a lot of ways might be better than you. Jackson Thomas, the hitter now for LaRue County, and he comes in with just a .533 average this season. Only 30 at-bats, but Chase, you mentioned it in the open as there's a pickoff attempt back into Morris. And it doesn't matter if you've had 6 at-bats. Over 500 is really impressive.
Yeah, that's a pretty good season he's having there, even though he didn't play in every game.
Bratcher checks the runner at first and delivers the pitch here to Jackson Thomas. Showing bunt, and it's high and inside for ball 1. LaRue County, another thing standing out, they're very aggressive on the base pass. 64 steals on the season on 73 attempts. So they will run on the base pass. And the man on first, Evan Morris, He is 10 of 11 on stolen base attempts this year, so he definitely will run to try and get into scoring position. The 1-0 is bunted foul, and he was off on that pitch.
Thomas, he's just a sophomore, so this could be a classic case of finally getting an opportunity and playing up to it. That's how sometimes opportunities are not guaranteed in baseball. You have to get that, and you have to show that you want to be here, and I think that's what Thomas has done.
We touched on the runs for LaRue County, 201 total runs scored. They're averaging 1 run every 3 at-bats this season. The 1-1 pitch coming here to Jackson Thomas from Bratcher, playing in and just fouling that bunt off. So he had to go low and outside to grab that one, and it's a really good pitch to the bunt by Owen Bratcher, because if he bunts that, he's going to bunt it straight into the ground every single time.
Whenever you think a team's going to bunt, you always want to throw a off-speed pitch. You don't want to throw a fastball. Curveballs, and those are the hardest pitches to bunt.
The 1-2 pitch coming to Jackson Thomas. The bunt is off. It's a sweeping breaking ball, and it's a ground ball to Hawkins. The runner was off, so they're not going to have a play. The runner's going to break for third because no one was covering third, and he's going to get in safely. The runner is out at first, but Morris advances to third base.
Yeah, there wasn't much. Once Morris knew he had an open bag, he was going to take it. Dane with Dane charging on and Eli taking over second, that's kind of on Ethan to have to go over there and make a play.
Brooks Brackett is now the hitter for the Hawks of LaRue County. And the first pitch to him from Owen Bratcher with a runner at third base is a swing and a miss at a pitch outside. Brackett on the season, .409, 22 runs batted in, 6 doubles, and 2 home runs. He also walks at a high level. He's tied for 13th in the state in walks with 21 of them. Bratcher, a long look into Chandler McCready, the catcher. The wind and the pitch is popped up foul as it bounces in front of the Cougar dugout, and I think Cody Shepard, the first baseman, realized there was no way he's getting to that ball. So ahead in the count, Bratcher is at no balls and 2 strikes. Trying to strand a runner at third base with 1 down here on our opening frame. Checks the runner. The wind in the pitch just misses high for ball 1.
We saw it a lot with Butler County. Butler County, big component of stealing home. Big part of their offense is stealing home. I wouldn't expect to see that from LaRue County, especially with a righty on the mound.
The 1-2 pitch coming to Brooks Brackett, the best hitter on this LaRue County team, is a sweeping breaking ball, called strike 3.
That was a good pitch by Owen.
He froze the senior Brackett, and he goes down on strikes. And the lineup now turns towards Caleb Graham, the left fielder. Graham this season is hitting .387 with 9 doubles, leads the team with 26 runs batted in. And there's a swing and a miss. He made him look foolish on that breaking ball there. Is that what you might even call a pitching ninja there, as he was going with the sword? The 0-1 coming from Owen Bratcher to Graham is a ground ball foul down the third base line. As that one hugged the line, we saw a couple of those against Butler County, and it seems like they went fair every single time against the Bears. That one foul by mere inches down that third base line, and that saves a run.
Something just looking over LaRue County's averages, they have 2 or 3 or 4 players batting over 300. We have 1, so that just shows the offense and the offensive awareness that LaRue County has.
As a team, they're hitting .311. The first base coach for LaRue County is asking somebody to go run and get the foul ball, because it looks like Coach has to run all the way down there and grab it himself. And I think a freshman or something's going to get a little bit of a chewing. I'm sure that you all have that same rule in this situation. The 0-2 pitch coming to Caleb Graham. Bratcher trying to work out of the inning. Nice stop on a pitch outside by the catcher, McCready. As LaRue County, you mentioned it, they hit the ball at a high level. They score runs. Their OPS standing at .832, which is really solid for a high school baseball team. The 1-2 pitch. Bratcher checks the runner. Morris at third. Delivers. Another one in the dirt. A nice stop by Chandler McCready. And that'll even up the count here at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, as a team, the Cougars are batting .228 compared to LaRue County's batting average. So that just tells the tale of the 2 different offenses here.
The break-even pitch coming from the junior Owen Bratcher. In the dirt again, gets away from Chandler McCready, and that's going to score a run, and it's 1-0 Hawks. That was in the dirt, took a weird bounce on McCready, and LaRue County leads this one 1-0. So falling behind in the count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes after getting ahead at no balls and 2 strikes was Bratcher.
Pass balls and wild pitches are the 2 hardest things to score in baseball because depending on who you ask, it goes either way.
The 3-2 pitch with 2 outs here in the top of the first is a called strike 3 at the knees. LaRue County, though, scores 1. And through the top half of the first inning, it's 1-0 Hawks. This is Cougar Baseball on K10. Jamison LaRue is the starting pitcher tonight for the LaRue County Hawks coming into this game. This will be his 8th overall game, 6th start, 21 and a third innings, 5.58 ERA, 19 walks, 21 strikeouts, and comes into the game with a record of 2-1. As a team, LaRue County, pitching has been their weakness if they have one. Offensively, they're very good, but pitching, they have a really, really, really good ace, Brooks Brackett, who has made 6 starts with an ERA of 1.31. But other than that, their team ERA sits at 5.34 when you don't count in Brackett. And the leadoff hitter for Grayson County is going to be their best bat, Dane Hawkins. The first pitch he sees is a cold strike on the outside corner. Hawkins this season for Grayson hitting .387, 15 runs batted in. He has a home run and a triple as well on the year. LaRue standing at 5 foot 8 inches tall on the mound. And the second pitch Hawkins sees is fouled off behind the plate. And he's quickly ahead in the count here. No balls and 2 strikes. The sophomore Jamison LaRue. Gotta love that LaRue is pitching for LaRue tonight.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I know there was a catcher that played in the major leagues for the Reds and the Cardinals named LaRue. Probably no relation, but that's what we'll
The 0-2 pitch coming is in the dirt, bouncing in. Good job by Hawkins to lay off of that pitch. And the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. You gotta love Jason LaRue. Good mention there. Naming obscure former Reds. The 1 ball and 2 strike pitch coming to Dane Hawkins. He swings at a pitch in the dirt, gets away from the catcher, he'll throw down to first, and that's a strikeout. Drop third strike for the first out of this game. As that was a breaking ball that went outside, and Hawkins probably would love to have that pitch back. To not swing at that one, and the lineup goes towards Chandler McCready, hitting .283, a pair of doubles, 4 runs batted in, but again, he missed first, 10 days of the regular season, first week, something along the lines of that, with an appendectomy. And he swings at the first pitch inside for called strike 1.
I know our first 5 guys, including scrimmages, we started 5 different catchers. Cam, Caden, Landon Mattingly, a couple others, Mason.
The 0-1 pitch comes from LaRue. And he pops that one straight up in the infield. It's going to be a tough play, and it's going to be caught by the pitcher, LaRue, just on the inside of the circle here where the batters hit. That's the second out of the inning. As that was almost hit in the same spot that the ball that dropped for Grayson County was hit, that the first baseman Shepard dropped, but the pitcher LaRue takes this one for the Hawks. Camden Brothers is the hitter now, back into the lineup after missing, what was it, at least 1 game, right, Chase?
Yes, he
He missed Tuesday's game. Was he there on Monday? Called strike,
Yeah,
though,
he
the
was
first
there
pitch to
Monday.
him.
He wasn't at practice yesterday.
So he's missed the past 2 days with a little bit of a sickness. I know that's kind of going around. Hopefully it stays away from this team. The 0-1 is fouled off behind the plate. And LaRue's ahead in the count here at 0 balls and 2 strikes. And immediately what I'm seeing from Jamison LaRue is he's pounding the strike zone. Started 8 pitches, 7 for a strike. Cougars are being very aggressive, swinging as well. The 0-2 pitch is a called strike 3, and that is the inning. 9 pitches is all it takes for Jamison LaRue to get through the first. And through 1, it's LaRue 1, Cougar 0. It's Cougar Baseball on K105. Top of the second inning we head. Owen Bratcher in for the second inning of work, and it's 1-0 LaRue County. Connor Baker will lead off for the Hawks of LaRue County. Sam Gormley and Chase Blaine with you on the call here tonight. In the first pitch, showing bunt and bunting it right up the third base line, and Hawkins will try to make a play, and he's not going to have one. Beautiful bunt hit by Connor Baker as Hawkins was playing way back. He noticed it, and LaRue County has their first hit of the game on the ground and a base runner.
I know the Cougars have been working on bunt coverages in practice the last couple of days in preparation for Butler County and even going over a couple of things that went wrong with Butler County. So we should be okay with bunt coverages. Of course, Dane was just playing too far back. Not much he could do with that one.
Derek Heath is the hitter now for LaRue County. He has signed to play baseball at Kentucky Christian University. And the first pitch he sees, there's going to be a pickoff attempt down at first. So it was a ball high and inside, and sliding in safely is the runner, Connor Baker. Baker on the season, again, LaRue County, as we mentioned in the first inning, very aggressive on the base pass. He is 8 of 11 stealing so far this year. Heath is the batter. And the 1-0 pitch coming from Bratcher is high for ball 2. Heath on the season hitting .261, 9 runs batted in, and a pair of doubles for the Hawks. Infield, Hawkins playing in just a little bit on the grass, waiting to see if Heath might lay down a bunt. The 2-0 coming from the junior Bratcher is again high, and that's kind of slipped out of his hand a little bit. And 3 balls and no strike goes the count here from Bratcher.
Chandler with the back pick. Chandler loves playing aggressive, which he loves that in basketball too. But in baseball, that's the equivalent of throwing bat picks. He loves back picks.
The 3 ball and no strike pitch to Heath is a cold strike on the inside corner. It's one of these things here. The last thing you want is to walk a batter here and put 2 runners on base with nobody out after surrendering an unearned run in the top half of the first inning, especially when it looks like Jamison LaRue has his best stuff for the Hawks. The 3 ball and 1 strike pitch. The runner is off. It's in the dirt. It's not going to matter. That's ball 4. So runners move to first and second, and Brian Sanchez, number 15, the starting second baseman tonight, the junior on the year, hitting .303 with 10 runs batted in. Again, one of those batters, another one that is hitting over 300 for this Hawks team. Infield, Shepard is playing in at first, Hawkins playing back at third. Showing bunt is Sanchez. And he'll lay it down right down the third base line. There's going to be a play at first, and Sanchez is safe as the throw is a little bit wild. That's going to plate 1 run. Miller is quickly over to grab that in right field. But the runner Sanchez will advance to second base, and LaRue County has a 2-0 lead with nobody out in the top half of the second inning. As that runner probably was going to be safe regardless at first base as he was hustling down the line. Another one of those tough scoring decisions that you want to make, and there's going to be a pitching conversation right now. That's Danny Clark out there talking right now, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Of course, Cody was coming up. I think they had a 3 or a 5 call on. And so Cody was playing up. Dane was going back as hopes to get the out, but I think Dane probably should have came up a couple steps or two and be at least more even with the bag.
As Danny Clark, the 18th season as the head coach for Grayson County, out there having a conversation, this is probably one of these things saying, you know what, it's still 2-0. Can still get out of this one. You think back to Tuesday night when Mason Miller was on the mound, bases loaded, nobody out, top half of the first inning. Buddy Hobby came out that time and had the conversation, and Miller proceeded to strike out the next 3 batters and slam the door. Jason Sanchez will be the hitter now for LaRue County. 294, 14 runs batted in, and a pair of doubles. Standing in the batter's box now with 2 runners in scoring position and a run already crossing the plate. And the first pitch is low for ball 1.
Coach Clark may give a good mound visit, but nobody gives a mound visit quite like I do.
That's what I hear. That's what the legend says. So you got runners on second and third. Jason Sanchez, the hitter. And he pops that one off to the left side. Hawkins trying to make a play on it. If he has room, he can make it, and he does in foul territory. As it almost looked like he might have not had room to make it, but he does just have enough to get the first out of the inning.
I think that mound visit was more of a, you have the 8-9 hitters due up, go right after these guys. They're at the bottom of the order for a reason.
Tate Wooten will now hit for the Hawks. 274 on the season, 14 runs batted in, 3 extra base hits, a double, and 2 triples. And the first pitch is right down Broadway for cold strike 1. Wooten on this team, sophomore, getting the start. It's an older LaRue County team, but they do have some big sophomores that are getting moments in this, as obviously the starting pitcher tonight, Jamison LaRue, is a sophomore as well. The 0-1 is a fly ball right field. Mason Miller is going to be under. We're going to have a tag as the runner will come home, and it's going to be easily in safe as that throw bounces and kind of rolls into the catcher, and LaRue has a 3-0 lead. And for the Hawks, that's exactly what you want to draw up for the 9-hole hitter. Fly ball to the right field, make the right fielder make an unbelievable throw to even make it close. And Miller's got a nice arm, but I'm not sure that he's Yoenis Cespedes out there with a cannon to make a play, or Yasiel Puig or someone along the lines of that. The hitter now is Evan Morris. The first baseman reached on an error in his first at-bat and came around to score on the pass ball by McCready. Pitch is inside for ball 1. So the runner, Sanchez, did move up to third base. So 2 down, though, in this top half of the second inning. Again, Hawks lead 3-0.
That's a good thing about having pitchers in your outfield. Pitchers have the strongest arms. You got Mason, Caden, and Jaron.
The 1-0. Called strike on the outside corner.
And Cam's normally out there, too. That's another pitcher. So that's 4 pitchers right there that rotate through the outfield. So our arm strength is pretty good. It's above average.
And that's a tough throw to make from right field. It looks a lot easier than it actually is. 1 ball and 1 strike to Evan Morris, the lefty. Outside for ball 2.
As someone that's had to run out to center field many of times to turn on the lights, it's a lot farther than it looks.
There's no doubt about that. Morris again hitting .288 on the season, 8 runs batted in. Has hit a home run. LaRue County's only hit 4 on the season. He has 1 of them. So he does have pop. The 2-1 is fouled off behind the plate to even up the count here, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Or to fix the scoreboard. I've had to do that a time or two, too.
As the runner, Sanchez, is at third. Owen Bratcher waiting for the batter, Morris, to get back into the box. The glove is on his left hip. Looks in for the sign from Chandler McCready. Here comes the break even from the junior Bratcher. He's just fouled off by Morris. Good pitch. He took something off of that one, and Morris did just enough to slow down and make contact.
Yeah, in this situation, you want to go right after the hitter. You've already given up 2 runs this inning, and 2-2 count. Why waste the pitch whenever you go right after him?
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the second inning, LaRue has already put 2 runners across the plate to lead 3-0. The break even is a base up the middle to center field. Woodcock has a long run and makes the play. Off the bat, it looked like it was maybe going to smack off the wall, but Woodcock was playing deep, ranges over to make the final out of the inning. But LaRue County does score 2, and through 1.5, it's 3-0 Hawks. This is Cougar Baseball right here on K1. Mason Miller will lead off the bottom of the second inning for Grayson County. They trail 3-0, and the first pitch from Jamison LaRue is low and outside for ball 1. Sam Gormley and Chase Blaine on the call here for you tonight on K105 Digital Productions. Infield for LaRue County playing a little bit back on the middle, and the second pitch is low for ball 2.
I think I give their respect to Mason Miller. He's been one of our hotter bats.
He's played really well over the past couple of games swinging the bat. He had 3 RBIs on Tuesday night against Butler County, and he lines one into left field for a base hit. He went right over the third baseman's head. The left fielder gets over to it quickly to hold Miller to only 1. Now the ball gets away from the second baseman. Miller is going to dig for second, and he is going to be in there safely. And Grayson County has a runner in scoring position with nobody else, as the error by the second baseman allows Miller to advance into scoring position. So now the lineup goes towards Eli Watson, who has also swung the bat very well for Grayson. He had the only hit for the Cougars on Monday evening against the Bears and had one on Tuesday as well. He also worked a good walk. So 3-0 though, LaRue County does lead. Grayson County trying to get at least one of those runs back here. And the pitch to Watson is fouled off behind the plate. As Watson this season hitting .231, 1 double, 7 runs batted in. Miller does have average speed at second base, so you could look for him to score on a base hit to the outfield. The 0-1 pitch coming from the sophomore Jamison LaRue is a ground ball to the first baseman, Morris. He'll step on first and a throw down to third, and Miller is in safely. As that almost turned into being extremely bad, almost a 1-5 double play, which I'm not sure I've ever seen a 1-5 double play. As that is the first out of the inning for Grayson County, and Caden Woodcock will now step in for the Cougars. And I'm sure if there's one player on this Grayson County team that would love to have a base hit and RBI, it's Caden Woodcock. He struggled as of late this season, coming into tonight's game, hitting only .169 with 3 runs batted in. As he swung over top of that first pitch, no balls and 1 strike. Miller stands at third. big secondary lead, and a swing and a miss from Woodcock, and he's quickly behind in the county yard. No balls and 2 strikes.
The runs batted in stat is a little misleading because he's been moved around in the order, and I don't think he's had many chances with runners actually on base, especially in scoring position.
He also led off for a decent portion of this season as well, I know. The 0-2 pitch to Woodcock is low and inside for ball 1. Woodcock, though, probably the fastest player on the team, so if he gets one into the gap, he can definitely get into second or third easily. The 1-2 pitch coming to Woodcock is a swing and a miss. It's in the dirt, and the runner is going to throw down to first. He's there. Miller's going to come home, and he's safe. No, he's out. Called out at home, says the umpire. That's a double play, and that ends the inning. Grayson County threatens but doesn't score a run, and through 2, it's 3-0 LaRue. This is Cougar Baseball on K105. Three to nothing here in the top of the third inning. Owen Bratcher in for this third inning of work. 2-3-4 for LaRue County in this order. Grayson County makes the final out at home there. Mason Miller. It was a nice play by the Hawks. You could tell that the catcher Sanchez was thinking, do I throw to first and allow that runner to potentially come home? He did, and they get Miller barely at home. Jackson Thomas will lead off the inning, and he swings at the first pitch. Fly ball left field. Van Meter has it read, and there's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, a play like that, you used to have to put your head down and go. I know my compadre up here, Brian Napier, would argue for robot umpires, but that's just a play that, you know, it's bang, bang. There's not much you can really do with that. If you're on the receiving end of the out call, you just have to put your head down and keep fighting.
Brooks Brackett is the hitter now for the Hawks. Again, their leading hitter, hitting over 400 on the season, and the first pitch from Bratcher is outside for ball 1. Brackett 409, 22 runs batted in, 6 doubles, 2 home runs, 15 stolen bases, and again comes in tied for 13th in the state with 21 free passes. And that first pitch the second pitch is a called strike to move the count here to 1 ball and 1 strike to Brackett. As a team, LaRue County does walk a lot. 118 walks, 45 hit by pitches as well. Low and outside for ball 2. So coming into this game, they have just over 600 at-bats. So when you get that in, that they're walking just about 1 every 6 times. 2 ball, 1 strike pitch to Brackett is called. Strike on the inside corner.
Yeah, whenever you have a team that walks that much, normally you would want to go right after them. However, with this offense and the averages like they are, you don't necessarily want to do that.
The break-even pitch coming from Owen Bratcher to the senior Brackett is a ground ball foul down the third base line, and that was the right call there by the umpires. That came on the inside side of third base on the foul side, so that is the correct call by our home plate umpire. As Kellen Lobb, the head coach for LaRue County, he's trying to sell it and say fair. I always love it when coaches, if there's a bang-bang play at first, the first base coach is always safe. It doesn't matter if he's out by 3 steps or not. Got to try and see if you can help the umpire if you want. We'll do the break even one more time to Brackett. And it's a breaking ball. Just misses. Chandler McCready thought that was strike 3. He was getting ready to throw down to Dane Hawkins. That's where you got to be careful if you're Chandler McCready. Is the last thing you want is some umpires don't like that at all. If you are in a way, they count that as showing them up. The 3-2 pitch is high for ball 4.
Yeah, I think Chandler right there, he should have probably sold it a little more, which he didn't do nothing wrong, but if you're going to do that, go ahead and throw it back to the pitcher.
So the runner bracket does get on base with his 22nd walk on the season, and it'll be Caleb Graham. He struck out looking in his last at-bat. One down here in the top of the third inning. It's LaRue County 3, Grayson County 0. And the pitch, the runner is off. Ground ball through the legs of Dane Hawkins and into shallow left field. That's going to be a tough play. Van Meter quickly to get over it. And the runner will advance to second base. And that is a tough double there for the hitter, Caleb Graham, as that ball was hit hard right through the legs of Dane Hawkins.
Yeah, that reminds me of Mookie Wilson and Bill Bugner, but that ball was hit a lot harder than Bill Bugner's was, and he just didn't quite get low enough on it.
So runners on second and third now, with one down here in the bottom of the third inning. Or top of the third inning, rather, and there's a ground ball, another one foul. I tell you, LaRue County is hugging that third base line. That's about 3 or 4 already. We're only in the third inning of this game. Connor Baker is the hitter. He had a bunt single, the first pitch he saw in his first at-bat. He saw Dane Hawkins was playing back on that. As LaRue County, Baker will step into the box. Baker hitting .277. He's signed to play football at Center College next year. The 0-1 pitch coming from Owen Bratcher is a fly ball center field. It is deep. Woodcock back to the track and makes the play against the base of the wall. That's going to be deep enough to score a run, and it's 4-0 LaRue County. As that was plenty deep enough to score that run. And the lineup now goes towards Derek Heath. He walked in his last at-bat. And the runner Graham does advance to third base. So 4-0 LaRue County in this game. Owen Bratcher trying to make sure that the advantage stays just there. And the pitch is fouled off behind the plate.
Warming up in the Grayson County bullpen is Landon Shirella.
So a lefty there for Grayson County is getting loose. Shirella on the season, a 7.37 ERA, but I know he threw the ball very well on Saturday against Allen County Scottsville. Different type of pitcher than Owen Bratcher.
Yeah, Shirella.
Bratcher will step off the mound there to chase the runner back to third.
Yeah, Shirella, he's a soft-throwing lefty, comes at you curveball. Owen's tall, hard-throwing, comes at you with fastballs, righty.
The 0-1 pitch coming to Derek Heath is a ground ball in the hole in between third and short, and it's 5-0 LaRue County. As that's a bad break for Bratcher, as that one just gets right in between Hawkins and Snyder. And advancing to first base is Heath on the base hit, and Brian Sanchez, the second baseman, will now hit. He reached on an error in his first at-bat. This is a big moment here for Grayson County. They cannot allow another runner to cross the plate as Sanchez swings at the first pitch and fouls it off to the right side out of play. As the Cougars are going to play this LaRue County team again on May the 26th, their second to last game of the regular season. As that game will be held in Hodgenville. The Cougars will close the regular season at Glasgow, the final game of the year. The 0-1 pitch is a ground ball to the shortstop, Snyder. He will gather and throw, and that is the final out of the inning. But LaRue County does add 2 more. And through 2.5, they lead 5-0. This is Cougar Baseball right here on K1. Cody Shepard to lead off for Grayson County in the bottom of the third inning. Cougars threatened in the bottom of the second, couldn't get anyone to cross as they trail this one 5-0 against the Hawks of LaRue. And Jamison LaRue is in for another inning of work, and the first pitch to Cody Shepard is a swing and a miss. Shepard on the season, 172, 2 doubles, 5 runs batted in. He's primarily been playing as a designated player, I know, in district games as the first baseman. The 0-1 is a two-seam fastball in on the hands that he fouls off behind the plate. That one jammed Shepard, and he was doing whatever he could to make sure that he made some semblance of contact. And looks like Ethan Snyder's going to kick that ball back into the on-deck circle, and he'll hand that to the home plate umpire. The 0-2 is way outside, trying to get Shepard to chase a pitch in the left-handed batter's box, but the senior says no thank you. Checking in for the sign, the 1-2 pitch is a swing and a miss, and Shepard goes down on strikes. And it'll be Ethan Snyder now to hit for the Cougars. Snyder on the season, 242, 2 doubles, a triple, 10 runs batted in. He's played a very good shortstop as well for Grayson County. I know that Danny Clark has got to be very excited about the future of Ethan Snyder.
Yeah, Ethan's a good player. He's a junior.
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 He is a junior. I'm not sure what I'm looking. I'm thinking of Eli Watson.
Eli Watson, yeah.
I get them mixed
up. But
up.
Ethan's held his own this year. He's been a pretty good player, offensively and defensively.
The 1-0 pitch is right back up the middle to the center fielder, Thomas, who angles over to make the second out of the inning. So no, I think it was Snyder that was robbed by a great play by the second baseman for Butler County on Tuesday evening. It was either Snyder or Watson or somebody. It was a diving play that he made. I can't remember exactly who it was, but it was a fantastic play. Here's the hit by pitch machine, Jaron Van Meter. In on Tuesday against the Bears of Butler County, he was hit 3 times. And the game in his other at-bat was an RBI on a fielder's choice. So he did his job in the perfect way. As Van Meter on the season, his first pitch he sees is low for ball 1. Van Meter on the season, he's just going to be the future of this program, as getting a lot of playing time as a freshman. As the 1-0 is a base hit into right field. Gets out of the reach of the second baseman, and Van Meter does exactly what he does and finds the hole for a base hit.
Jared, him and Keaton are two. Both, whenever you think of football players, you think of bigger dudes, but they're 2 little football players that are going to be part of the Cougar sports programs for a long time.
They're both good little athletes, too. There's a lot to be excited about. Dean Hawkins will hit now for Grayson County. In his first at-bat, he struck out at a pitch in the dirt. Van Meter is the runner at first. He does have speed if Danny Clark wants to move him. LaRue, a long look back at Van Meter. He stares at his third baseman, and now a pickoff attempt, and Van Meter is in easily. Van Meter probably one of, the 4 or 5 fastest guys on the team, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, easy.
I was going to say, when you think of that, Keaton Hodges, Caden.
Landon Mattingly.
It's interesting that 2 of your catchers are 2 of your fastest guys on the team, in Mattingly and Chandler. 2 down in the inning. Van Meter thought about stealing and kind of held up once, and it's fouled off into the LaRue County dugout. So no balls and 1 strike here to the senior pitcher. Well, I guess he is a pitcher, not tonight. Hitter, Dane Hawkins. Cougars back in action tomorrow night at home against Davis County. And then they'll also be home on Saturday against Campbellsville. 2 teams that they played earlier this season. I know Davis County was the first week of the year, so it'll be interesting to see how you have improved since that point. It's a good test before you head into district play coming up very, very soon, the district tournament. Another pickoff attempt, and Van Meter is in safely as Davis County beat the Cougars back on the 31st of March by a final score of 9-4. Campbellsville a couple of weeks ago on the 20th of April defeated the Cougars 7-6. So good test to see how you have improved. Van Meter, a big lead at first. LaRue delivers the pitch, and it's a fly ball center field. Thomas charges in. He misread it at first and comes in to make the play. That's the 3rd out of the bottom of the 3rd, and through 3, it's 5-0 LaRue County. This is Cougar Baseball right here on K1. Call to the bullpen for the Cougars as they turn now to the left-handed hurler, Landon Sharella. 7.37 earned run average on the year for the freshman. Chase Blaine, the scouting report on Landon Sharella goes as what?
So soft throwing lefty, curveball, if he can locate it, not much in terms of velocity, but he has a nasty breaking on his breaking balls. And I know his brother Hunter Sharella and his dad Jason, they've worked with him a lot to make him a better overall, not only pitcher but hitter, as he's pretty good with a bat too. So in a couple years, this kid is going to be hitting bombs.
We talked about the future of the Cougar baseball program, Keaton Hodges and Jaron Van Meter, but Landon Sharella 100% is also in that list of, you've got three really good freshmen for the future of this Grayson County team. Leading off the top of the fourth inning for LaRue County is Jason Sanchez. The Hawks have a 5-0 lead over Grayson County. He popped out in foul territory in his first at bat, and he watches a called strike, the first pitch there from Landon Sharella. This is a big difference from Bratcher to Sharella. Let's see how the Hawks can adjust. The 0-1 from the lefty is swing and a miss. And you could tell Sanchez didn't really see that one that well off the mound. As Sharella does, his release point is a little bit different too. He's not quite a Noah Bullock going submarine, but he does go a little bit of almost a three-quarters. And there's a called strike 3 on a pitch outside, and 1-2-3 goes Jason Sanchez for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Sharella, his ERA is a little misleading. He's been put in some pretty tough situations that even the best pitchers wouldn't want to be in.
Tate Wooten is now the hitter for the Hawks. He had a sacrifice fly in his first at bat. He shows bunt and pulls away for ball 1. As Sharella, the one that comes to mind for me is that in the top of the 10th inning, he's put in against the defending region champions in a 1-1 game against the Tigers. There's a swing and a miss at a breaking ball inside to Wooten. As he came in as Mason Miller threw a gem through 9 innings, and it was tied 1-1 against Breckenridge County. He came in and he threw the ball very well against Breckenridge County. He ended up getting the loss in that game as there's a ground ball to the third baseman Hawkins. Throws across the diamond, and it is a airmail of a throw. That's an error for Dane Hawkins, and that allows Tate Wooten, the 9-hole hitter, to reach base.
Talking about Landon getting the loss in that game, pitching records might be one of the worst stats in baseball. I know, like, even at the major league level, a pitcher can come in and not give up a single hit and take a loss, especially in extra innings. That records do not mean anything.
Evan Morris, back to the top of the order, is hitting now for the Hawks. He reached on an error and flew out to Caden Woodcock in center field. Morris is a Campbellsville bass fishing signee. There's a pickoff attempt. Sharella tries to get Wooten, but Wooten slides in ahead of the tag. In fact, Grayson County, has a couple bass fishers thinking they've just have
Lane
Pullman. Thank you. His name was right there on the tip of my tongue. And you've got a Haycraft. Isn't there a Haycraft too for Grayson County on the fishing team? I got to find that. Another pickoff attempt here. So I just wrote a story not too long about him, as I'll have to figure that one out as we're looking. So it looks like he will be future teammates, though, with Lane Pullman, who is one of the offensive linemen for the Cougar football team. The pitch is low for ball 1. I know Morris was competing in the KHSAA State Bass Fishing Tournament, which was last weekend.
Which we talk about basketball and football being other sports, but we have several bass fishers on the team. Brady Stone, Eli Watson. All the sports are well represented here in Cougar baseball.
It's one sport that I know that there is absolutely no chance I could succeed at. None. The 1-0 is fouled off as the runner was off on the play.
Did they not have a bass fishing team in northern Kentucky?
No. See, bass fishing is a newer KHSAA sport. As when I was in high school, back in the Stone Ages, it wasn't. I don't think bass fishing was a sport. Who is the Luke Henderson? Luke Henderson is the other bass fisher for Grayson County, an alum that is on the team that the batter now, Evan Morris for LaRue County, will be joining. He fouls that one off into the on-deck circle, and 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count now to the senior.
Did they have many bass fishing ponds in northern Kentucky?
Oh, yeah. You've got Lake Williamstown. You've got, there's a few. You got the Ohio River, the mighty Ohio. As the 1-2 pitch coming now from Landon Chiarella is outside. The runner is off, and the throw is a little slow to get in, and that's a stolen base for Wooten. He'll move into scoring position. We mentioned it in the open. LaRue County very aggressive on the base pass. 65th stolen base on the year for them.
It's a great job by LaRue County to read the pitch down and take off. You want to steal on lower pitches.
The break even. Sweeping breaking ball called. Strike 3. He freezes the hitter. Not much you can do on that one. That was just a nice pitch by Landon Chiarella.
That one was prime Landon Chiarella right there. Nasty breaking ball that caught right at the bottom of the zone. Just what you would want.
Jackson Thomas will now hit. He's grounded out to third. It flew out to left. He goes opposite field. Caught at second base by Eli Watson. He makes a nice play and snags it for the final out of the inning. Landon Chiarella works out of a runner in scoring position. The Cougars are looking to add some runs. It's 5-0. LaRue County. This is Cougar Baseball on K105. Cougar offense looking to help out their starting pitching now as they finally get a goose egg on the board in that category, so they'll try to add some runs on their end. This is 5-0 Hawks as we head into this bottom of the fourth inning for Grayson County. Chandler McCready will lead off. He's going to talk with Danny Clark. Jamison LaRue is in for his fourth inning of work tonight for the Hawks, again with his 5-0 lead over Grayson County. McCready tonight 0 for 1. He popped out to the pitcher in his only at-bat. And LaRue, the wind, and the first pitch to McCready is a breaking ball in for a called strike. Jamison LaRue so far pitching for the Hawks, 3 innings, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, no walks. He's been very efficient throwing the ball. As he's only sitting, this will be his 30th pitch of the game, and that one is low and outside. So he's at 30 pitches right now in the bottom of the fourth inning. That is very, very efficient.
That's what we call efficiency in the business. That's unbelievable. I know as a team our goal is 15 pitches an inning, and that's about...
He's also throwing 73% for a strike. McCready shows bunt, takes a swing at it. I'm not sure that he made contact with that or not. It doesn't look like he did. And that's a swing and a miss, and the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. That was one of those that he noticed that the third baseman, Wooten, was playing way back. He's probably trying to pull a fast one, and with above average speed, he can potentially get in there. This one he fouls off into the parking lot. Hopefully that one doesn't knock out a car. I know that's about where you're parked at there, Chase. It might take a little bit to get you there, but
I think I've learned over the years to park down the line a little farther than some. That's where the newer rookie drivers park.
The 1-2 pitch to McCready is a ground ball to the third baseman. It's picked by Wooten. His throw across the diamond gets McCready by a step, and that is the first out of the bottom of the fourth. As I know that there was a game a couple of weeks ago, I think it might have been the scrimmage, that I got here a little bit later than I was planning on, and because of that, it was either me park like a mile away and walk or risk it. And I remember when I pulled out, there was a baseball under my car. So I was like, whew, that was close. I was like, you can go under it. I just don't want you on top at all. Camden Brothers is now the hitter for Grayson County. Swings at the first pitch, grounds it to the second baseman, Sanchez, who throws on for the second out of the inning.
Yeah,
Mason Miller will now hit for Grayson County. He has singled into left field. He has one of the Cougars' 2 hits in this game.
I know staying in the dugout, you always listen for the ding. If you hear the ding, you know that's a sound that you cannot mistake for anything.
No doubt about that. Miller trying to get a base runner on. There's pitch high and outside as he was thrown out at home on a bang-bang play as he almost scored on a drop third strike. It was aggressive base running. I don't disagree with the call, though, to send him home at all on that. Looking back, you could say, oh, well, he got out, so you shouldn't have done it. But I probably would have done the same thing again, and I'm sure knowing Danny Clark, he probably would have as well.
Yeah, especially at the time you were down 3. And it was still early in the game, so you had to do something to try to make it work, and I don't have a problem with it.
The 2-0 pitch coming to Mason Miller. Hits him in the back, and Miller gets a free pass.
That's the old saying, bruises are temporary, on-base percentage is forever.
I like that a lot. And Miller is not afraid to wear one. As I know, Brian Jones, the Grayson County High School football coach, described Mason Miller, and I can't get his quote directly right, as he said he has never had a football player with less regard for his own well-being and body than Mason Miller. And he said, that's the best compliment you can give, because Mason, he was the fullback for the Cougar football team, and he worked that position to perfection. And the batter now for Grayson County is Eli Watson, and the first pitch he sees is high and outside for ball 1. Watson grounded out to first in his only at-bat. As Miller is just, I know that Coach Jones, when the new rule came out of having where seniors could decide to come back, Mason, he told me, was one of the first players he talked to because he just did everything for them. Not that he didn't want any of his other players back, but just Mason Miller was a kind of player that doesn't grow on trees when it comes to football. As Watson fouled that one off, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Jamison LaRue. This will be his 40th pitch of the game, so Grayson County at least making him work somewhat in this inning as you look at his pitch counts per inning. For LaRue in the first 9, second 9, third 10, fourth now 11. So he's at least maybe breaking a sweat a little bit in this inning. The 1-1 pitch from Jamison LaRue to Eli Watson is right back up the middle. It's off the glove. The second baseman tries to recover, and Watson is safe. An infield base hit as LaRue, the pitcher, just got enough of that glove to keep it from going into center field. And the second baseman, Sanchez, had to make a really tough play on it, but wasn't able to, and that's an infield base hit for Eli Watson.
Yeah, a lot of times, I know against Breck County, Mason Miller had one come off his glove, but Gavin was able to recover it. It kind of crammed off to the right.
It was a very nice play.
Yeah, it was a great play by Gavin. That's the same thing right there. It's just tough luck. Not much you can do.
Caden Woodcock is the hitter now for Grayson County. He swung and missed at a pitch and struck out on a drop third strike, and that one he rips foul.
That one hit the crack shack over there just to the left of the foul line over in the opponent bullpen.
I was going to say that one was hit a long way for Caden Woodcock. If he can straighten that one out, put that one in the gap, you can get a run on that one easily, if not 2. 5-0 is the LaRue County lead. The pitch to Caden Woodcock is a ground ball to the second baseman, Sanchez. He bobbles, recovers, and throws to second just in time to get Eli Watson. The Cougars threaten again, but through 4, it is 5-0 Hawks, as this is Cougar Baseball on K1. Welcome back here to Don Lee Field. Sam Gormley and Chase Blaine with you as we head into the top of the 5th inning. It is the Hawks 5 and the Cougars 0. Landon Sharilla in for another inning of work. He's going to be facing 3-4-5 in the LaRue County order. Brooks Brackett will lead off for the Hawks. He worked a walk and struck out looking in his 2 at-bats today, as he's probably happy to see Owen Bradsher leave the game, as Bradsher almost had him looking twice in that, as Brackett looks into hit. Again, he's hitting over 400 on the season for the Hawks. Sharilla, the look into Chandler McCready. The high leg kick and the pitch is a ground ball back up the middle, and that bounces off the mound, and Eli Watson's not going to have a play as it goes into right field. Chase, you mentioned it in the last half inning. That's almost exactly what had happened to Mason Miller in the Breckenridge County game. Gavin Childress was able to recover on that. That's just a really tough play, and that's what you call bad luck.
Yeah, there's not much that you could do as a hitter. You almost try to do that because that's an easy base hit, but that's so hard to do and so unlucky. There's not much you can do.
Caleb Graham is now the hitter. He struck out looking and doubled to left field. And that was another one that went weirdly kind of through the legs of Dane Hawkins at third base. First pitch he sees is a ball. Sharilla trying to keep this a 5-0 game.
One of the drills that Coach Clark goes over with infielders is called right-left decoy, and you tap the ground with your glove, and that helps you get lower on balls, just like the one Dane missed.
The 1-0 is a ground ball back up the middle again. Snyder will get it, step on second, to throw across. 6-3 double play. That's the way to get out of a jam. Great job by Snyder as he had to kind of corral that on a high hop. Easily steps on second to complete the double play. Couldn't draw it up much better than that. Connor Baker will now hit for the Hawks. He hit a sacrifice fly to deep center field in his last at-bat, and has also had a bunt single, as Hawkins was playing back at third in that bunt single, and he just tips that one off into the glove of Chandler McCready, the catcher for Grayson County. It is really a very nice night for baseball tonight, as we said 65 degrees at game time, and we're at 63 right now, as some clouds, but and a very light wind. There's a fly ball into right field. Mason Miller is under, and 1-2-3 technically go the Hawks. And through 4.5, it is 5-0 LaRue County. This is Cougar Baseball right here on K105. Cody Shepard leads off the bottom of the 5th inning for Grayson County. They trail LaRue County 5-0. Jamison LaRue in for it here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the pitch outside. No, a called strike on the outside corner. That'll move the count here to 1-1 strike. The 1-1-2 Van Meter. Low for ball 2. Very nice crowd, though, here tonight. I know the LaRue County faithful have turned out, as have the Grayson County faithful down to our right. Really a nice night, though, to enjoy a game as that pitch is outside for ball 3.
This is a good at-bat here for Pip. He started out, draw 3-1 in the hitter's count here.
So 3 balls and 1 strike from Jamison LaRue to Jaron Van Meter. The pitch called, strike to Van Meter. And Chase Briley and I, on Tuesday evening when he was in, we're talking about the one pro that Jaron Van Meter has with him being as short as he is the strike zone is smaller compared to someone like Owen Bratcher, whose strike zone is a lot bigger because he's 6'4". And Van Meter swings at a pitch and misses for strike 3. Cougars go 1, 2, 3 in the 5th, and through 5, it's LaRue 5, Cougars 0. This is Cougar Baseball on K105. Landon Sharella in for another inning of work for Grayson County. Derek Heath will lead off for the Hawks as LaRue leads this one 5-0. Chase, you mentioned that Danny Clark's goal is 15 pitches per inning. Landon Sharella, his 2 innings pitched, he's thrown 17. So he has also been very efficient, as has the LaRue County pitcher, Jamison LaRue. And the first pitch here from Landon Sharella is a called strike at the knees to Derek Heath.
One of the, Cougars have a lot of depth on their team, but with the middle school game happening.
As here comes the pitch, it's a sweeping breaking ball low for ball 1. As tonight, Derek Heath is 1 for 1 with a walk and a single into left field that split both Hawkins and Snyder. The 1-1 is a fly ball to the left side of the infield. Van Meter calls him off as it goes into shallow left field for the first out of the inning.
But with the middle school having a game, that's some of the arms like Landon Haycraft and them, and some of the bench players, Landon Mattingly and Eli Rogers, that just aren't available, which they're playing at Pregame night with Mr. Brian Napier as an umpire.
It's good to hear. Brian Sanchez will now hit for LaRue County. He is 0 for 2, reached on an error and grounded out to the shortstop Snyder. First pitch he sees is outside for ball 1. So, Landon Sharella started on Saturday against Allen County Scottsville. Was that his first varsity win?
It was.
It was. So that's always good to see. And there's a ground ball again to Ethan Snyder at short. He corrals, he throws, and that's the second out of the inning.
Yeah, I've been giving away a lot of game balls, which is always a good thing. Of course, with Mason with his 5-inning no-hit game, and then Landon Sharella with his first varsity win.
And he threw the ball very well against a solid Allen County Scottsville team. That's not a poke opponent by any means. I mean, anytime you can get a win at a varsity level, that's always a good thing, and it's good for a freshman too. It's pretty impressive. As the batter is now Jason Sanchez. He is 0 for 2, popped out in foul territory and struck out, and he grounds one right back to Sharella. He throws on to first, and it takes him only 6 pitches to send down the Hawks in order. 5-0. LaRue County leads as we head to the bottom of 6. This is Cougar Baseball on K105. Bottom of the 6th inning, it'll be 1-2-3 for the Cougars to lead off. They trail LaRue County 5-0. As Dane Hawkins, Chandler McCready, and Camden Brothers will hit now for the Cougars. Hawkins tonight 0 for 2, swung and missed on a drop third strike, and also flew out to center field. As Hawkins is the hitter now for Grayson County. Again, the pitcher Jamison LaRue in for his 6th inning of work and has barely broken a sweat out there. Only 53 pitches thrown through 5 innings. The first pitch to the senior Hawkins is a ground ball to the shortstop bracket. It's a slow grounder. He bobbles. He throws. Hawkins is safe. As the ever so slight of a bobble by Brackett allows Hawkins to reach base for the first base runner of this game with nobody out. You know, Chase, we were talking about errors or hits here, and you'd like to call yourself the official scorer. How do you score that, sir?
It's definitely a hit.
You're saying a hit.
Yes.
So I'll trust you, Mr. Official Scorer, as you are so deeming yourself.
I think Hawkins is beating that one out, even if it is fielded.
Chandler McCready will now hit for Grayson County. He's 0 for 2, popped out to the pitcher and grounded out to the third baseman. The runner Hawkins is at first, and McCready just fouls that one off behind the plate. McCready this season hitting .283 coming into tonight's game. A pair of doubles and 4 runs batted in. Grayson County trails LaRue County 5-0 in this game. As just need to find a way to get a run here or 2 to just make this a ball game as you head into potentially the 7th next inning. The pitch is a ground ball to the shortstop bracket. He'll cover this one, throws to second for 1. The relay not in time. As it gets past the first baseman, McCready will beat that one out, but a fielder's choice gets the lead runner for the first out of the inning. So Hawkins is out at second, and Camden Brothers will hit now. He's grounded out to second and struck out looking in his 2 at-bats tonight against Jamison LaRue. McCready with above-average speed at first. Will Danny Clark set him in motion to try and put a runner into scoring position? Pickoff attempts, McCready in safely, and throw is high. Coming in for LaRue is the first baseman, Morris, had to reach up above his head to grab that.
Yeah, I'd be surprised to see Chandler running. Down 5, you don't want to take that kind of risk this late in the ball game.
He is off. Pitch in the dirt, called strike, and the throw is way wide. So McCready is in safely down at second, and runners in scoring position for the 3-hole hitter Camden Brothers.
Yeah, that was a classic case of Chandler reading the pitch down, not necessarily calling a steal, but reading the pitch down, knowing he can make it.
I'm sure that there isn't a pitch that Chandler McCready wouldn't think he could make it on, though, knowing the kind of player that he is. Called strike on the outside corner to Brothers, and he's quickly behind in the count here. No balls and 2 strikes.
Chandler's an aggressive player, but he's also a smart player. He knows when to take risk and when not to, and on pitches to steal and when not to.
The 0-2 pitch coming to Camden Brothers. Jamison LaRue checks McCready at second, delivers the pitch, fouled off by Brothers.
It's a good job by Cam to choke up a little bit, stay alive in the 2-strike approach. Keep the at-bat going.
Mason Miller stands in the on-deck circle for Grayson County. Cougars have matched the hit total of LaRue County in this game, both only having 4 hits, but it's 5-0 Hawks on top as they've taken advantage of their chances when they've gotten them. Brothers again extends on that to foul it off. So I was wondering in the last half inning if Mr. Spirit was here tonight, and I looked down and I'm not sure if he just got here or if he's been here the entire time and he was not in our sight, but he's here right now. As he's talking right now, looks like to the illustrious sports writer Don Brown down to the first base side. Camden Brothers the hitter. The 0-2 pitch coming to Brothers against LaRue. A long look in for LaRue to the catcher Sanchez. Checks the runner McCready at second. They're not holding him on. The pitch is a ground ball off the glove of the third baseman and into left field. They're going to wave McCready around. He takes a hard turn. They're not going to make a play at the plate. And Grayson County breaks up the shutout, and it's 5-1 on the base hit by Camden Brothers.
It's a great job, and that goes back to Chandler's green light steal. He put himself in scoring position, and without that, he was not scoring.
Mason Miller will now come in. He's 1 for 1, hit by a pitch, and singled into left field. And Danny Clark now is looking into the dugout, and we're going to have a pinch runner here. Is it
Here comes
Keaton Hodges?
running for the DH. So that's actually a pitch runner compared to a courtesy runner. So if Cam wants to come back up here and bat again, Dane Clark's going to have to use the re-enter position.
Which I would presume that he would do in this situation. So the batter is Mason Miller. The runner, Hodges, is at first. Again, one of the quickest players on the team. You got to believe that this could be another hit-and-run maybe situation with Mason Miller. And pitches in the dirt for ball one. I know Riley Napier said on a 1-ball, no-strike count with a runner at first with speed. That's one of Danny Clark's when a hitter gets ahead in the count to run the hit-and-run out.
Yeah, the hit and run's one of the most productive plays in baseball when done correctly, which that's one of the main focuses of batting practice.
The 1-0 pitch to Miller is a ground ball, high chopper to the third baseman. He'll go the short way to second for one. The turn, 2, 5, 4, 3, double play, and that is the inning. The Cougars score 1, and through 6, it's 5-1 LaRue. This is Cougar Baseball on K105.
Welcome back to an absolutely picturesque day here at Don Lee Field for some Grayson County baseball. Coming into the top of the 7th, LaRue County has the 9-1-2 hitters of Woodson, Morris, and Thomas due up. Landon Shirella back on the mound. Chase Blaine alongside Mr. Sam Gormley. And Sam, what do you think of this game so far?
Grayson County needs to find a way to get some offense back, but Landon Shirella has come into this game, and he's pitched very, very well for Grayson. 3 innings, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, and 0 walks. That's kind of the key for Shirella this season, is limiting those walks when he can find that way to get that curveball in there for a strike. Or I know as the Reds coloring analyst Chris Welsh always says, again, Wooten shows bunt inside, says that the 2 best pitches in baseball are a pitch that starts off as a ball and ends up as a strike, or sometimes even starts off as a strike and ends up as a ball. So those are the 2 best pitches in baseball, because you're going to get hitters to swing or you're going to get them looking. Ground ball in the hole, tough play for Snyder. He's not going to get that, as that's a tough play with speed on the base pass. And that's going to be an infield base hit for Tate Wooten. That's a tough play in the hole for the junior Ethan Snyder. Evan Morris will now hit, as he has reached on an error, flew out to center field, and struck out looking in his 2 at-bats tonight.
I know as a team we have certain goals. One of the defensively is to make 24 or 25 plays this season, and we have not did that this season. The
batter is Morris, the lefty. So you got a lefty-on-lefty matchup. The runner is off, and it's in the dirt, and McCrady's not going to have a play even close. Wooten steals easily on that play. This is not a run you need if you're Grayson County to cross the plate in this situation, as with it being a 4-run lead, you cannot allow any more to add to this Hawks lead. Shirella, huge lead by Wooten at second base. They won't throw. Pitch gets in the dirt, running off to third base, the throw down, and he is safe, as that got through the legs of Chandler McCrady. And this is not a good situation for Grayson County.
Well, and that goes back to another chart that we keep as a team called the Freebie War, and that's free bases allowed. And 99 times out of 100, the team that wins that wins the game. And I would have to imagine we're losing that right now.
Shirella trying to keep that runner at third base. The 2-0. Outside for ball 3. Cougar bullpen right now is completely barren. So you would imagine that this is Landon Shirella's inning no matter what happens, especially with games tomorrow and Saturday. The pitch from Shirella. Cold strike at the knees.
Whenever you're pitching your bullpen, too, for most of the game, which is what today was, a bullpen day, so to speak, that puts a lot of pressure on your starters for the next 2 games, Dane and Mason, to go out and have good innings.
3-ball, 1-strike pitch. Shirella. Sweeping breaking ball, called strike on the outside corner. That pitch had really good movement on it. It's almost like an ephus curveball, too, as it's very slow. That can freeze hitters when they're not used to seeing a pitch coming in that slow with that much movement. Shirella has fought back to make this a 3-2 pitch. Here it comes. Ground ball to the first baseman, Shepard. He's going to throw on to the second baseman, Watson, who will cover. They get the out, but the run does cross the plate, and LaRue County leads 6-1.
That was a great job by Eli Watson to cover first. I know at Butler County there was a couple of plays where probably should have won to have outs, but second baseman wasn't covering. That was a great job by Eli to get over and cover first.
Especially with Eli Watson not being the everyday second baseman for Grayson County. I mean, how many games is it? You've seen the Cougars a lot more than I have. How many, as the batter is Jackson Thomas for the Hawks. I mean, how many games has Eli Watson played at second this year? As there's a fly ball to left center field. Van Meter comes over and makes the catch.
I don't think Eli has actually played a varsity game at second yet, because I know normal second baseman Gavin Childress has done most of the games
for a
at
while.
second.
He's been, because he was a starter his entire sophomore year as well.
And then the one game that Gavin had to pitch at Greene County, Keaton Hodges came in and played second for an inning or 2. So I think this is Eli's first games at second.
And he's done very well out there. And the batter now is Brooks Brackett. There's a cold strike at the knees.
That's one of the reasons why Danny Clark is so high on Eli Watson as a prospect for the future, because he's so versatile. He played third, short, and he also swing the bat.
The 0-1 pitch is a bloop hit, right side, base hit into right field. Mason Miller, it gets past him, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Brackett is going to dig for second. He is going to go into third easily with a hit there, and that's going to be an error on Mason Miller to give 2 more base runners for LaRue County. That's another defensive blunder for Grayson County that allows the runner to advance 2 more bases. As the batter now is Caleb Graham. He struck out looking, doubled to left, and hit into a double play. 2 down here in the top of the 7th. The pitch from Shirella is a fly ball center field. Woodcock back on his horse to the wall, and it's going to hit off the base of it. 7-1 LaRue County on the long base hit by Caleb Graham. As Woodcock had to go a long way to make a play on that one, but just ran out of room. Connor Baker will now hit, and if you're Grayson County, this is the last thing you wanted, is for LaRue County to add insurance to their what was their 5-1 lead. It is now a 7-1 lead. The runner is off. The pitch is a called strike, and the throw is not even close to being in time. And LaRue County is doing whatever they want in this inning right now. As Shirella does have a slower delivery. Checks the runner at second. Pitch outside for ball 1.
Yeah, that's the thing about the slow-throwing lefties, soft-throwing lefties, is that, get a runner on first, even though the pitcher's looking at you, it takes him a while to get the ball to the plate, so that could be a disadvantage when it comes to stealing bases.
The pitch gets by McCready, and it's going to go down to third base is Graham, and this inning has not gone the way Grayson County wanted. Two balls, 1 strikes to Connor Baker. Shirella trying to close the door on this one. See what the Grayson County offense can't do. There's a base hit up the middle. Woodcock long run, diving play, and it's past him, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. He's quickly up. Mason Miller slips in the outfield. Rounding second and going into third with a triple is going to be Connor Baker. Baker this season, his first triple of the season. So that was going to be a tough play for Caden Woodcock as he dove out to try and make a play on that one. And it's 8-1 LaRue County for Derek Heath, the hitter.
Yeah, a ball in the gap like that, almost the best thing to do is just get behind it and try to cut it off, maybe save yourself a base or two. But whenever it's in between the fielders like that, they have to communicate and say, I got it, or take it. And I don't think there was much of that happening.
The pitch fouled off to Derek Heath. Heath today 1 for 2. He walked, singled, and flew out to left. He's hit to the left side of the infield every single time in this game.
That's one of the things that the dugout should be communicating to the fielders is that, hey, minute you 3 times, to be on your toes and be ready.
The pitch inside for ball 1 rather, to Derek Heath. Shirella, though, for the most part, is throwing the ball very well in this game, and this inning's kind of gotten away from him a little bit, but it's not been all entirely his fault. An error in there, and it's just it's not gone the way he wanted. The 1-1 is a ground ball to the third base, and it takes another weird bounce and gets into left field. As that one almost hit Dane Hawkins in the face. So that took a very weird bounce off the infield, and LaRue County leads this one 9-1. That's another one of those plays. I think there was one of those similar in the Butler County game on Tuesday where you have the discussion on how do you score a play like that where it is, the only way that Hawkins would have been able to knock that down is if he'd stuck his face in there. And there's a ground ball into left field on the first pitch swinging from Brian Sanchez, and this inning has gone from bad to worse in a very quick way. As the hitter now is Jason Sanchez. He's 0 for 3. He's popped out to Hawkins in foul territory, struck out looking, and grounded out to the pitcher Landon Shirella. As for the Hawks, this will be the 9th man to bat in this inning. And I think, are we going to have a pinch hitter in this situation? No. Sanchez was just a little bit slow. I think he's the catcher, so he had to take his pads off.
In each game that we've played in and lost specifically, there's always a big inning. Now, if we limit that, we probably win the game.
The pitch is a ground ball to the shortstop Snyder. He corrals, he throws, and that is the inning. The Hawks had 4, and through 6.5, it is 9-1 LaRue County. This is Cougar Baseball on K105. Bottom of the 7th inning, we had LaRue County leads this one 9-1. Jamison LaRue going to try and finish what he started. For Grayson County, Eli Watson, Caden Woodcock, and Cody Shepard to try and get that rolling and chase. This is one of these innings that I know you've been in this dugout thousands of times, it probably feels like, where an 8-run deficit is a mountain. But at this point, you almost just want to try and find 3 runs here. Make it 9-4 Something along the lines of that as Eli Watson swings at the first pitch. Ground ball to the second baseman, Sanchez. He'll throw on. That's the first out of the inning. But you almost just want to try and find a way to get a little bit of momentum before you go into playing back-to-back nights. Tomorrow night you got Davis County, a region opponent, and then on Saturday you got another 5th region opponent in Campbellsville.
Right. One of our worst traits as a team, I think, is our body language in the dugout is terrible. You'll get some teams like Butler County that they're just everybody in their dugout is going wild. In ours, that was just looking down there, where
the pitch is outside to Caden Woodcock as he's the hitter. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
A bunch of us just looking around, standing, looking at each other, depressed, and you can't do that as a team. There's always a will to fight, and it's not over till the fat lady sing, and I don't see nobody singing.
The 1-0 pitch is low for ball 2. And, I mean, you mentioned Butler County, and, I mean, we don't have to talk about it, but you think back to 2 years ago in the district championship game. That is a situation, though, where exactly what you mean, that Butler County was still in the game, they felt like, and the quote-unquote fat lady wasn't singing as there's a pitch inside for ball 3 to Caden Woodcock. And Butler County used that momentum to come in, and it's one of those situations that Grayson County could see that and learn from it and say, you know what, it isn't over until the quote-unquote fat lady is singing. The 3-0 pitch to Woodcock is high, and there's a 4-pitch walk to Caden Woodcock. It's a good man to have on first base, as Cody Shepard will now hit for the Cougars. He struck out twice.
Former pitcher Alex Scott was here Saturday, and he was talking about just a bigger difference from whenever he played was that there was energy on the in the dugout, and that was a big reason why that's what struck him the most, just coming back and watching.
The pitch to Cody Shepard is fouled off behind the plate. And, I mean, obviously, winning helps a lot with that. And your team has started to do that a little bit more over these past couple of weeks, but when you get off to an 0-7 start, that is deflating. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you play the 1 through 7 in the top 25 in the state, going 0-7 is a tough pill to swallow. Pitch inside for ball 1. Moves the count here to 1-1 strike to Cody Shepard.
Correct. As I look down the dugout, I think Mr. Kane Smith is here at the end of the dugout. So that's maybe he can energize the bench a little bit.
1-1 strike to Cody Shepard. Jamison LaRue trying to finish what he started. Caden Woodcock, the runner at first. The pitch, high for ball 2. And LaRue County leads this one 9-1 against Grayson County. Another game happening tonight involving Grayson County High School. The Lady Cougar softball team playing at Breckenridge County tonight in the bottom of the 4th inning. They trailed the Lady Tigers 8-5. So a high-scoring game going on in Hardinsburg tonight. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. The runner, Woodcock, is off. He didn't get a good jump, and he's in ahead of the tag. And actually, I think that was the right call by the umpires. He had a high tag on him, and if he'd have put a low tag, he'd have been out.
Yeah, that's one of the things. The LaRue County bench isn't too happy with that call, but they also have to realize they're up 8, and they're not going to get every single call. That's just one of those bang-bang plays that honestly could have went either way, and you couldn't really be mad about it.
And as I always say, that umpire is a whole lot closer than we are up in the press box. The break-even pitch is low. Called strike 3 on Cody Shepard, and the Cougars are down to their final out, and it all rests in the hands of Ethan Snyder. Again, it is 9-1. And now the Cougar faithful is not happy with the home plate umpire. See, the LaRue County faithful are not happy with the field umpire, and the Cougar faithful are not happy with the home plate umpire. The pitch to Ethan Snyder is fouled off behind the plate, and that's one of those situations right here that we're thankful that the net's there, because that one might have been a little bit of chin music up in here. As I know the other night when we were down at softball, we set up right behind the plate at softball. We're not in the press box, and we got to be ready back there, because if a softball comes, for one, that's a lot bigger than a baseball. The 0-1 pitch to Ethan Snyder is outside. It's a nice stop by the catcher as he kept it in front of him. And Caden Woodcock couldn't do anything with it. So again, it's 9-1 LaRue County. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Grayson County just trying to, again, find some semblance of just motivation moving into a big region game and a big test tomorrow night to see how much you have improved. The 1-1. Checking the runner, Woodcock. The pitch, called strike at the knees.
Yeah, this is where you just want to, with 2 strikes down to your last strike, you just want to get in that 2-strike approach and do anything you can to keep your at-bat and thus the game alive.
checking the runner at second. The pitch is a swing and a miss by Ethan Snyder. And it's a drop third strike. The catcher can't find it. Snyder didn't run at first. Throw down. He is out. And that is the ball game. Grayson County falls tonight to LaRue County by a final score 9-1. Come back. Wrap it up after this. This is Cougar Baseball right here on K1. Welcome back here to Don Leitchfield. Grayson County falls tonight to LaRue County by a final score of 9-1. As we'll first off bring you a quick score update from the Lady Cougar softball team. They are playing Breckenridge County tonight, and they are trailing the Fighting Tigers in through 4, 8-5 is the score. Sam Gormley and Chase Blaine with you tonight, and Chase, this one is a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it is, especially the way that it ended, of course. Just looking down, seeing the frustration on first base coach Buddy Hobby's face just said it all. Even Snyder not running on the drop third strike. That just goes back to our team not actually, I don't want to say they don't watch baseball because I know some of them, actually most of them do, but that's just not knowing like the little rules that baseball have and knowing that you can run on a drop third strike instead of pouting about you striking out, knowing that there's still a chance that you could get on base, and that's a tough way to end a game.
Grayson County trailed this one in LaRue County got started early in this game as they jumped on the Cougars right away. And when you're the road team, the one advantage that you have is that you hit first. And if you get out there, and for LaRue, it was just, the 1-0 in the lead. And honestly, that's all they needed today because they jumped out quick as they used and it was a pass ball or an error that they reached on and so on after the drop ball in the infield. They made the Cougars pay, and then they add the 2 more runs, and you blink, and it's 5-0, and Grayson County had only hit twice at that point.
Thinking back to the Butler County game, in the first inning, they had bases loaded, nobody out. And if they score, which me and Buddy Hobby were talking, that game is a different outcome, I think, if they score. And we held them to nothing, and that's just, scoring first is a major key in baseball. Get that momentum, and it can ride you the rest of the game, especially since baseball has no clock. Baseball game can go on forever. You have 21 outs to work with.
Yeah, we noticed that last time you were on air. It went on forever. But as I always say, baseball is a game of momentum. I mean, really every sport is a game of momentum. And whatever color momentum is wearing is going to help when you're having a game that is quote-unquote a toss-up. And you look back to Tuesday. To me, Tuesday is the epitome of what momentum can do. You had Grayson County, after striking out the side, after loading the bases, had all of the momentum in the world, and as Bradley mentioned, then they came out and they smacked Butler County in the mouth by scoring. I think it was only one run in that bottom half of the first inning, but that one run was incredibly important because it smacked them in the mouth.
Exactly, and coming off a game like that versus Butler County, it's a big district rivalry, and then you have a team from the 18th district like LaRue County come in that you're not really too familiar with come in, and I think that may take your focus off of this game a little bit compared to the Butler County game.
Danny Clark right now talking with the team. What is that conversation going like? You've been in lots of those.
Yeah, after a game like this, I think it's
we play again tomorrow?
We play again tomorrow, go home, get some rest, put this one behind us. We know where we're at in district, which that's what we worked our whole season for, was for district. There's some things we have to work on. The strikeout numbers, I'm sure, were way too high than they should have been.
8 strikeouts tonight.
Yeah, that's absolutely way too high. That's over a strikeout an inning. Strikeouts, errors, you have to cut down on those. You have to rebound from this. We have an in-region opponent coming up tomorrow, and that's what we should be focused on now. Put this game behind us.
Tomorrow, Grayson County plays Davis County at home, and then you've got a game against Campbellsville on Saturday. Chase, I'm going to give it to you right now. Give us a scouting report on those two teams. You've seen both of them. What are you going to give us on, first off, let's say the Panthers of Davis County?
The Panthers, so Davies County, we played there as our second game of the season, I believe. It was at Davies County. And
game 3,
game
9-4.
9-4.
First road game.
Yeah, so, of course, first road game in almost 2 years, year and a half.
It's almost 700 days.
Exactly.
Something along the lines of that.
That's, of course, you don't really know expect. That game, it was freezing cold. I remember we were all bundled up, keeping them together. That team, they're good, but I think that if coming into our place, which having home field advantage is a big plus in any game as well, that we should be able to be right there with them.
Campbellsville, 7-6 loss, and that one, the thing that stands out the most about that is that was on a Tuesday, and it was the night after the marathon against Breckenridge County that went 12 innings. To bounce back and then lose only a one-run game, what do you remember from that?
Right.
And moving into Saturdays?
At Campbellsville, which they actually play baseball on their football field, which is one of the most unique things. But they have a pitcher and a center fielder that's going to Murray State, I believe. That he's pretty good. I think he hit us a couple times. But again, that should be. I think Camden started that game, and so I think that they come here again, home field advantage. We should be right there with them again. That should be. I wouldn't be surprised to see us come out 2-0 this weekend.
Well, we look forward to it. I know you can follow that K105 Sports Twitter. We'll have updates from that, and I'm sure the illustrious sports writer Don Brown will probably have the recaps for you on all of those as well. Chase, appreciate you taking the time to join us. I'm sure we'll talk to you again at some point here down the road.
That's right. Thank you for the opportunity, Sam.
That is a final score here. 9-1, LaRue County wins this. We'll come back, wrap it up after this. This is Cougar Baseball on K105. welcome back to Don Lee Field on a night where Grayson County falls tonight by a final score of 9-1 to LaRue County. Winning pitcher tonight for the Hawks is Jamison LaRue. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 8 strikeouts, and 1 walk. The loss is saddled to Owen Bratcher. 3 innings, 3 hits, 5 runs, 2 earned, 2 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Landon Shirella came in relief and really threw the ball fairly well. 4 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 2 strikeouts, and that 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned all came in really 1 inning, as he, in the first 3 innings that he pitched, really threw the ball very well for Grayson County. Hits-wise for the Cougars, the lone RBI goes to Camden Brothers. Other hits is Camden Brothers had the base hit, Mason Miller has a hit, Eli Watson comes away with a hit, Jaron Van Meter, and Dane Hawkins as well. Leading the way offensively for the Hawks, a pair of RBIs each for Connor Baker and for Derek Heath for the Hawks, as Connor Baker had a triple and Caleb Graham had a double extra base hit-wise for Grayson County. Final line score for this one, LaRue County with a win, 9 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. For Grayson County, the loss, 1 run, 5 hits, and 4 errors. Cougars back in action tomorrow night. They will host Davis County at home at 6 o'clock. Our next coverage, though, of Cougar baseball here on K105 Digital Productions, you're going to have to go all the way to May the 24th. So it's going to be 11 days as what potentially might be senior night for the Cougars, as they will host Ohio County, a team that they just beat last week by a final score of 5-4. So we'll have coverage of that game. 5:30 will be the official start time. I believe that is a Monday afternoon, the Monday after graduation. In fact, I'm not sure that we're going to be live next week for K105 Digital Productions. Just follow the K105 Sports Twitter. We'll let you know everything that you need to know. That wraps up our coverage, though, tonight, as I want to thank the K105 Digital Productions crew for their hard work. Cody Brock was your camera operator, technician extraordinaire. Chase Blaine was your director and your color commentator. So for them, on a night where Grayson County falls to 10-15 with a 9-4 loss to LaRue County, this is Sam Gormley saying, so long, everyone.